Thanks so much again for coming out. I want to just share a few more thank yous and then a couple thoughts. One thought is just about the name of this, which is the Old-New Coffeehouse. On the, which hopefully will be the first of many. On the sign that we made, it says coffee house, I think, in the tradition of old Europe and New England, which I thought was clever, which my wife came up with. A couple of things about that concept. There's a line in the movie Inside Llewyn Davis, which I know in the actual folk community was somewhat controversial for how it portrayed Greenwich Village in the 50s and 60s. But the title character is a folk singer who says, if it was never new and it never gets old, it's a folk song. And the concept of something being at once very old and very new is this deeply Jewish concept, and I think this deeply spiritual concept. One of the things that we pray for a lot is to renew our days as of old, and there's this idea that that which is most ancient is also that which is most urgent. And this is something that sort of goes on throughout Jewish history in a variety of ways, so that's sort of where the name came from. And I think that has something to do with folk music and music in general. You're trying to say new things with similar words and similar chords and similar instruments, but trying to say them urgently, which I think people have done beautifully tonight. The other thing I just want to share is that the genesis of this was actually, and some of you were probably there, a lot of you may have been there, following the shooting in Pittsburgh in the fall. We had the largest event here in the history of the synagogue. There were about 1,000 people here and on the streets. And one of the most powerful moments in that, I think, was at the end when we all sang this song, and it felt like the entire place was just sort of exploding with music. And a few days later, I don't know if they're going to play it tonight, but a few days later, Susan sent me an MP3. She said, "You know, Rabbi, it really meant a lot that you did that, and or that the synagogue did that, and I wrote a song based on it." And I will share with you another thing about my job, which is that sometimes when people say, "Well, Rabbi, I wrote a song about what you did," sometimes it's like, "Oh God, what am I gonna?" And so, anyways, I just forwarded the email to my wife, and I didn't say anything else about it. I said, "Look at this," and then she emailed me back about 2 minutes later. She said, "Well, did you listen to it?" And I said, "No, I'm gonna listen to it later." And she said, "You should listen to it now." And I listened to it now, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And I couldn't wait to meet with Susan and tell her how much it meant to me and how beautiful it was. And the idea for this really came from that. And I think tonight is just a testament to the fact that music can bring people together in so many different ways. And so whether you're a member of this community and you're here all the time, or this is your first time here, welcome. And my hope for this is that this is not the last time we get together in a space like this, and that we can continue connecting with one another and building community with old and new words. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to give you guys the lied twos. Oh, and thank you to everyone who helped make this possible. Thank you to Susan, and thank you to the amazing Latham Schurz family, which things at this synagogue could not get done without our fearless president and her amazing family. Thank you to Michael Perlman, our treasurer, and to Bob Mandel, and to everyone else who really helped make this happen tonight. Woo!